Okay, welcome to Sebring. Be careful into turn one here. You're looking for this outside cone. You're going to almost go into the cones. Start turning a little bit earlier than later. You want to stay tight in here and knock it out to the right. It's very slippery out there. Try to aim for this inside cone here if you can. By that point you can start to ease off of your turn in so that you exit wider. It's one of the few cars you can go flat out in. It's an absolute blast. Coming up into this turn is a very tricky sequence. Two cone marker, I'm braking down from 5th to 3rd to 2nd. Heavy braking into here and then a little bit of a lift on the throttle here so that I can grip inside here with the left front right between that seam and the curb. Try to get as much throttle as you can through this section. I short shift into 3rd on this particular lap. And again, it's about lifting off the throttle to let the front grab. And then just free roll for this last section here that you don't spin out. And as soon as your left tire gets clear of that seam and the exit, you're on full throttle out through here. Flat out through this section. This is with the slowest turn on the whole track. Certainly very challenging, but be careful coming in here. You're looking for the 2 marker, but I actually brake a little bit earlier and just spread it out a little bit. I don't want to upset the car. Down to 2nd gear and let it turn in early here. Basically what I'm doing on this one is I'm trying to divide the turn so that it's not a right angle down here. A lot of times people are braking in a straight line and then try to make a 90-degree right, basically. What you're trying to do is roll in here and keep a big arc so that you're early on the throttle in 2nd gear out through there. That particular run through there, I lost a little bit of time, but was able to pick it up a little bit later in the week. But that'll give you a general idea. The whole idea is to be careful on your turn in. This is down to 3rd, right tire between the curb and that seam. Early exit out into 3rd gear, into 4th gear. Up into this turn, you're being careful. You're looking for that curbing right back there. That curbing is where you got to start braking. As soon as your left tire is coming up into that point, you start braking and gently turning in your front wheel so that you can get real close to this without losing the tail. A little bit of lift here in 3rd and you should be on throttle by that point. I was a little late on this one and that's where I lost a little bit of time also. But you can really get on the gas full throttle before you leave that curb. This is flat out, try not to hit the rumble strips, and then this is also a tricky turn. Coming down here in 5th gear, I go down 2, I go down to 3rd, but I can spread that out. You can easily go into this first turn in 4th and then go down into 3rd, but you want to try to get close to those 2 cones there on the right. That'll give you plenty of room left here because you don't want to get over there. I stay in 3rd, almost hit the limiter here, and then try to get the front to hook around so that I can be on throttle by this point here. If I'm in 3rd and on throttle by here, I've got a great drive onto the front straight. This last turn is flat out for almost half of the turn. About the 2 marker, you're going to start, the 1 marker, you start turning in. No brake, just turning in all the way until you're in a straight line and you start seeing the dark line come across the track. And you can see where the white line kind of edges. There's no more edge there. So when I get to this point visually is when I start my braking, or I get off throttle, start a progressive rolling on the brake, down to 4th, and I go down to 3rd. Some people stay in 4th, and that's probably faster than the way I do it. I just feel a little bit more consistent, and I can get back on 3rd full throttle all the way out here through 4th, and then up into 5th for the final straight. Hope that helps. Good luck.